here's some of the updates. We got some national experts coming in, and I think we're building a wonderful system that's about to take off, right? There's a lot of great work and exciting work that's happening in the state of Arkansas. So as Dr. Warden alluded to, some of the things that we've been working on the last 3 years around Arkansas Learns and Arkansas Access is some really innovative policy that's setting the foundation to set us up for success to be one of the nation leaders in education. So I always like to talk about the numbers and a little bit about the why and kind of look at where have we been for the last 3 years, where are we now, what is our trend lines looking at? And some of the metrics that I like to look at, some of these national metrics, and some of them aren't perfect, everybody has their own methodology, but you can look at a baseline and look at trend data over time, right? Help make informed decisions. Some of those key metrics as a state when we look at prosperity and opportunity is a term called attainment, right? Most of you know about attainment rates, and a lot of that's built off census data, and it looks at people that are workforce aged, I want to say it's from like 25 to 62, that have certain levels of whether or not they have a high school diploma, whether they have an associate's degree, a technical certificate, a bachelor's degree, or more on. And when you look at Arkansas's attainment rate, and you look at state rankings, 1 through 50, you know, the number of Arkansans that have a bachelor's diploma, I don't think we're proud to be 10th from the bottom, right? Like, I think when we look at opportunity and we look at the pathways
Good morning. I like how Jacob gave an entire 20-minute speech on education and then needed notes to introduce me. So, like it's our first time to do an event together. So I'm a little concerned, maybe about that part of it. And yes, I am still the youngest governor in the country, and hanging on to that as long as I can, because I'm getting older and candidates for office are getting younger. But our kids are really, really tired of hearing me introduced as the youngest governor in the country. So much so that our youngest, who was with me at an event several months ago, is sitting there. I got introduced that way, and after I gave my remarks, I sat back down. He goes, "Mom, are you still really the youngest governor in the country?" I said, "George, yes, as a matter of fact, I am." And he goes, "Those other guys must be really old." So thankfully, I have my kids to keep me humble, and apparently Jacob and I will work on our opening act a little bit and see if he can learn an introduction after 3 years without notes. But it is an honor to be here and to join trustees and chancellors from across Arkansas's higher education system. I want to say thank you, Jacob. You are doing, I give you a hard time, but that's only because I know that you're doing great work, and I appreciate the amazing things that you've been able to help us accomplish at the Department of Education, and really thankful for your leadership and really proud of the great work that you're doing. I also want to say thank you to Dr. Ken Warden for helping organize today's meeting. If you haven't yet had a chance to meet Ken, which hopefully that's not the case, but if you haven't, I recommend that you not let his accent and his regular fist bumps fool you. Ken is actually one of the smartest policy wonks that we have working on this issue, and one of the most talented people in higher education in the country. And I'm glad that we have him on our team and helping us lead the transformation that we are trying to bring to our state. And to our higher ed leaders who have traveled from all across the state, we are glad that you are here, and welcome to Little Rock. I want to start by addressing some of the biggest news that people have been tracking in higher education this week, and let you in on a little secret and surprise. I'm actually not taking the job as the head football coach for the University of Arkansas. A little disappointed. I may not on paper look like the right fit. I may not be best on the coaching side, but you know what? I'm pretty good on fundraising, and I feel like that could have moved me up on the list, but that's okay. Excited about the new coach and the recruits that they've brought in, and excited to see where they take that. I also want to say a huge congratulations. I know we got a big group of our A-State team here for clinching bowl eligibility last weekend, so congratulations to the Red Wolves. I've also not been asked to coach or play for them, so I guess I'll try to keep working on my day job and let this be my role in higher education. But, putting all sports aside, it has been a huge year for Arkansas higher ed. Back in March, after many long back and forth discussions with many of you that are here in this room, I had the opportunity and the privilege to sign Arkansas Access. And I truly believe this will be one of the more transformational sets of reforms to ever impact Arkansas colleges and universities. The message behind Access was simple. For far too long, we've told way too many young people that the only way you can be successful is to have a 4-year college degree right out of high school, which is great for a lot of students, but not for everyone. Arkansas Access will help us end that misconception. And as Jacob is so fond of saying, education has many on-ramps and off-ramps, and Access makes those on and off-ramps much easier to get to and starting much earlier. Not every student is the same, so we need a lot of different pathways so that everyone can still be successful. We'll now fund high schoolers who want to take college classes before they graduate, expand the number of admissions exams high schoolers can take, and invest in scholarships, including doubling the academic challenge and more than doubling the workforce challenge, something I know Senator English is proud of because she helped champion a lot of these efforts. We're working hard so that college applicants can submit one application and can apply to any public college or university in the state. And I know that can be a challenge for you, but sometimes we have to put the challenges on the system and not on the student. And that is exactly what that does. It opens up and creates more opportunities for our students. We're also linking that application to Arkansas Launch, so students can see scholarship and job options right there on the spot. And we want to make sure that once a student gets to college, they're getting the real life skills they're paying for. That means a return on investment for every dollar that they and that Arkansas taxpayers are putting in. And that means funding non-degree credentials alongside our 2- and 4-year degrees. Over my past 3 years as governor, I've had the opportunity and chance to travel across our state and meet with men and women whose lives have been literally transformed by higher education. The people in this room represent so many of those people's success stories. One of those is a woman named Tiffany String, who I had the chance to meet and who I invited to my State of the State address when we announced Arkansas Access. Tiffany is not your typical college student. Her mom pulled her out of school just a few weeks into the 6th grade. She was married at 17 in her home state of Georgia. 14 years later, she found herself in Beebe, Arkansas, with a husband and 3 kids. And then Tiffany's life imploded. Her husband walked out, leaving her with 3 kids, no job, no car, and hundreds of miles from her family. Tiffany learned that Sonic was one of the few places that she could work without a GED. So she would bike her kids to school and then bike herself to Sonic and then bike to school to earn her GED. But once Tiffany earned her GED, she wasn't ready to stop. She wasn't satisfied, not for herself and not for her sons. She continued to work and go to school, earning her nursing degree at Arkansas State University, Beebe. And this past May, she graduated with her RN degree and works as a registered nurse in Searcy. Education is a lifeboat. Without it, all you can do is try to keep your head above the water. But with it, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. I know that all of you have plenty of other Tiffanys to talk about, whose lives have been transformed by the institutions that you work on behalf of. And the goal of my administration is to create a lot more stories like it. Arkansans, we move off of the path of poverty and dependency and onto the path of opportunity. But that doesn't happen without the people in this room. So I want to thank you for being great partners in that effort and helping us deliver real transformational change in your students' lives. I hope that you have a great meeting. I look forward to continuing working very closely with you so that we can transform Arkansas's higher education system and make it the envy of every other state in the country. With your help, I know that we can accomplish that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for the great work that you're doing, and keep it up, and let's make Arkansas the best in the country. Thanks so much.